Oh my God, it's scared me up to death. Just Spin It is a game I came up with to help me determine which books I'll be reading. So we're going to start building my September TBR list by using the wheel. This is very much inspired by Cody at Cody's Book Corner and Melanie from Completely Melanie. They both have wheels and choose their books that way. So I took that idea and made some little prompts out of flowers, and we also have a star. So how this works, I will spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on will tell me which flower to draw, and then that prompt will lead me to a book off my shelves. Now you may notice on here I've got an orange section with a star on the top. So if it lands on that, which is number 1, I still have to draw the flower for that prompt, but then I have to respin to find out which star I will have to choose as well. The stars they could go either way. They're either going to be extra challenging, maybe with 2 books, or it'll be something light and easy like buy a book. So maybe this month we'll get a star we didn't last month. If you want to see last month's video, which was the very first time I played that, I will put the link up in the corner. I've got a couple of things to do right quick before we start playing. So first off, let's look at what I did for last month. So here was my list from September that I had to read. I actually managed to read everything except for 1. So let's break this down into the 3 groups that I draw them in. So here were the books that I had to read for Just Spin It. I did read all of them. But then I also had miscellaneous challenges that I do through the year. Oh, and this was an ebook. So there were 5 there. I did read all of these, and I have already done the wrap-up on these. So there is a review video. If you would like to check that out, I'll put a link up. There are no spoilers. If there are, it's clearly marked. So I had very intense feelings about this one. Anyway, that's what we did for the miscellaneous. And then my last group is for The Sims, Anna and the King of Siam. That's the only book I have left. I read part 1 of this one with audio while I diamond painted. I'll show the progress that I made on that when I do the review of these books. So those are all the books that I read for August, and now it's time to start making my list for September. I will be making 3 groups again. So we'll have our 5 from Just Spin It, unless it forces me to pick extra. I will have 5 from The Sims, and I'm so excited to announce that I figured out how to screen record. So I will be doing a video for that, showing The Sims actually picking the prompts, and you'll get a little house tour, see everything that I've made. That should be my next video to come out. And then we also need to pick 5 for the miscellaneous challenges that I'm doing throughout this year. Depending on the length of this video, I'll probably just put it at the end. We'll see how it goes. For October, I will be changing the board to a Halloween theme. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, be sure and subscribe so you don't miss those videos that are coming up. All right, now that we've gone over everything, it is time to finally play the game. So first I've got to replace the prompts from last month. There should have only been 1 blank space, but I ended up with 2 because I kept consistently forgetting to replace 1. So anyway, let's get 2 new ones on here so we have a full board, and then we can do the first spin and start building my TBR for September. So here I've got my unused prompts, and I'm just gonna pull from the front and replace them as we go through. I will not be putting them back in until maybe January. I don't know. I'm gonna leave them out as I use them. I'm not gonna show them to y'all because I don't want to see it while I'm editing. So it'll be a surprise for everybody. And if you're curious, these are held up by a magnet. I went and got some little gems from Michael's and hot glued them to a magnet. All right, so we have all of our prompts on the board, and we can finally do the first spin. That is going to be orange. And the first one of the month is Silhouette on Cover. So let me see what I've got. I know I have a middle grade one. I am going to try and keep my list this month on the easy side as much as possible. My daughter is having surgery on the 2nd to have her tonsils removed. So the doctor said since she's older, the recovery might be a little rough. So I want to be on hand for her and not scrambling to try to read a whole bunch of heavy books. So anyway, I think I do have a middle grade with a silhouette on the cover. Let me look real quick. All right, so we're going to pick out of these two. I've got the Cabinet of Wonders and the Elephant in the Room. Okay, I think I'm going to go with Cabinet of Wonders. I was a little hesitant because I don't know that I want to start another series, but this one's middle grade, and it is Talking Spiders, Stolen Eyes, A Clock That Controls the Weather, and a heady mix of history and enchantment. So this sounds like a fun time. She's got a tin spider who likes to hide under her hair and give advice. And her father is able to move metal with his mind. And he's been commissioned by the Prince of Bohemia to build the world's finest astronomical clock. So, yeah, this sounds like a fun one. This one is I have a feeling, a tearjerker. So we're going to go with The Cabinet of Wonders by Marie Rutkowski. I hope. Book 1 in the Kronos Chronicle. Let's put my little flower in here and start our stack. All right, so let's replace the prompt. All right, here we go. Pin 2. 16 again. Okay, I may have to add a rule later for double numbers, but for the end of the year, since I'm already doing 15 books a month, I'm not going to make it harder on myself than I need to be, especially because there are prompts in here that can add a book or two. All right, so we're going to do 16 again. So we have, okay, miscellaneous, short stories, play, or poetry. I'm not one for short stories typically. I like to dive into a book. I think I'm going to go with another No Fear Shakespeare. Let me find a short one. All right, I'm going to go with A Comedy of Errors, William Shakespeare. And this is No Fear Shakespeare. If you haven't seen these before, it has the original text on the left side of the page and a modern translation on the right side. If you've been wanting to read Shakespeare, but it's a little beyond you because the language is so archaic, then these are incredible for making it more accessible. So this one is The Comedy of Errors. And honestly, I don't remember ever coming across a version of this play. So anyway, I will be doing this one for my miscellaneous pick. Another reason I'm trying to keep my list easy this month is I'm going to be doing a channel name change, and I need to come up with the new header and graphics and all of that. So I've got a busy month coming. So let's replace 16 and go on to spin number 3. Oh, 15. All right. Ooh, dystopian. Haven't read one of those in a while. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is The Hunger Games. I do have the prequel that came out. I haven't gotten to that yet. There is also, I have a dystopian shelf, and I can see a book I haven't read yet that has been sitting there forever. Okay, so I'm going to go with Incarceron. It is a YA book. Prison unlike no other. Not only do they live in cells, but they're in a metal forest with dilapidated city and wilderness. So they're completely cut off, and it's been sealed for hundreds of years, and only one person has gotten out. Finn, 17-year-old, grew up on the inside, and he wants to get out. And on the outside, we have Claudia, who is the warden's daughter, who's trying to get out of an arranged marriage. So the two are going to team up somehow. That's what I get from the flat. All right, so Incarceron will be our dystopian. This one's been out for a while. Yeah, 2010 in the US and 2007 in Great Britain, UK. So let me know if this is a good one. 2 more to go. Oh, we gotta put our flower back. I really want to get a 1, or maybe I don't. I don't know. 15. I'm definitely going to have to make a rule. Okay, our new one is a random word. So these are fun. I'm going to use a random generator and come up with a word, and then I have to find a book that depicts that word. So let me do that real quick. All right, so I got the word lawyer. That's actually a really good one. Thrillers, crime, any of those would have lawyer. Courtroom drama. You know what? I'm going to go with the obvious. It's another one that's been on my shelf for a long time. I used to read John Grisham quite a bit back in the day, and I haven't read anything by him in a while. This was 2008. Can y'all tell when I stopped buying books? All right, so this one, a chemical company dumps toxic waste into a small town in Mississippi. The court comes back and finds the company guilty. Oh my God, it scared me up to death. I left a browser up for the random word generator, and apparently there's an ad on there, and all of a sudden I heard a female's voice coming from my desk, which the only thing over there is a Windows. Gave me a heart attack. I'm going to turn that off. All right. That scared me. Only way a voice to come from there would be as if it was a ghost, because there's a wall. There's nothing there. Okay. Anyway, so this case is gonna be going to the Mississippi Supreme Court, and someone's gonna try and buy their way onto the court to get the decision that they want. One of the corporate guys. So this should be lots of intrigue and politics and corruption. So The Appeal by John Grisham. So anyway, this is our word was lawyer. By the way, if anybody wants to play along using my prompts, I have it up on the Storygraph, and I'll be adding this month's list. So if you want to follow me on there, I'll put my profile name down below, and you can look for Just Spin It 2021 and use my prompts to put your own books in. I would love to see what you're reading. Okay, let's replace our last prompt. I got another purple. And let's see if we can get away from 15 and 16. Maybe if I spin it a little. Okay, just barely, but it's number 8. And we've got purple. Next in series. That's convenient. Let me think about which series I have going. Oh, I did the Athena Club. My daughter got me books 2 and 3 for my birthday, but that's a chunky monkey. So we have the European Travel for Monstrous Gentlewomen. This puppy is, this is 708 pages, a little bit more than I want this month. Let me see what other series I have going. I know. If you don't like the way a book looks, hide it. Nothing against Six of Crows, but this one does not match the gorgeous edition that I have for Shadow and Bone. But I read Shadow and Bone, loved it. I want to continue. So Siege and Storm will be my next in a series. This is part 2 by Lee Bardugo. I just finished Shadow and Bone, and it was so good. I definitely want to find out what happens next. Heavily invested in it. Love the series. If you haven't read it, go read it. I will have a review for book 1 coming in soon. All right, so this was actually my last book. So here's our little stack for Just Spin It in September. Very achievable stack to read through. Especially if this was all I had to read, no problem. But I've got 10 more books to add to this list. Real quick, I think we'll go ahead and pick out the books that I'm doing for my prompts. For my extra reading challenges, and we'll add those on here. We will replace our last number next month, and next month I will have a Halloween themed board, so I will be making that this month too, which is another reason I want my list this month to be on the easier, more manageable side. But let me find my journal so I can get my prompts that I need. I've got my reading journal, and a video is coming up for this too to show how the system works and give you updates on what I've done. All right, so for Read Your Bookshelf, I need something that's been translated and one for doing the 2020. I also need something written before 1900. So I am getting a classic on here, which I'm not upset about. I like my classics. Let me see what I can come up with. Before 1900 would probably be the easiest one. Oh, just missed it with Phantom of the Opera. It's 1910. Okay, so I could start prepping for Halloween and do Dracula, which for the sequel to Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. I think the Dracula lore was going to be added to that book, so it wouldn't hurt to refresh. Or King Solomon's Mine is an action adventure story. It was like inspiration for Indiana Jones and Tarzan, things like that. Follows Alan Quartermain. I'm going with Dracula. That's what I'm gonna do. Even though it's much thicker, it's 400 pages plus notes and stuff. But I have read it before, which means I should get through it quicker. And I wouldn't mind a refresher. Yeah. First written 1897, so this fits. We're going Dracula. Now, translated book. I know I have them. I just gotta find them. No, DeMoss is translated, right? Holy crap. Not finding anything that would be a necessarily, quote unquote, easy read. Got Crime and Punishment, but got Cyrano de Bergerac. Is Heidi a translation? Isn't that gorgeous? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafron. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Is the only thing I can find other than Crime and Punishment and Idiot by Dostoevsky. I probably butchered his name as well. I might go with the Angel's Game. So we're going to put that down for now, but through the course of the month, if I find something else that's a little easier to get through, then I'm going to swap it out. But for now, we're going to go with the Angel's Game. I do want to read this, but I want to save it for when I can enjoy it and not feel rushed to read. Okay, so that's it for the Read Your Bookshelf prompts. Now I need to pick out 2 books for TBR Knockout, which is by Completely Melanie. So let me get my book again and find out what the prompts are for this one. I need one with any form of land on the cover and fruit or veggies on the cover. So these are going to be 2 cover picks. I wonder what I've got in middle grade. Actually, I am going with The Captain's Daughters. We've got land. And this book makes me official. This is by Doreen Berger, and she contacted me, the author, and asked if she could send me a copy of her book in exchange for an honest review. So I am official. I am excited to read this one. Okay, we've got 2 12-year-old sisters, Diane and Robin, and their father is a commander of the starship Polaris. The girls are adventurous and enjoy playing pranks. Aliens kidnap the 2 girls. So the girls manage to escape the alien vessel, but it turns out they're way farther out than they realize, and now they've got to get their way back home. They've got to make it back to their planet or their ship, and they've got to evade enemies in the process. And I believe when speaking to the author, she said that they're not recognized when they get back home. So I am really excited to read this, and I will definitely be doing a review on this. So thank you, Doreen, for sending me a copy of your book. I'm intrigued, and it looks like it's going to be a good time. So that will be the one for landmass on the cover. And let's see, I need food or fruits or veggies. Okay, that took some searching. I've got choices are The Rules of Gentility by Janet Moloney. And I have read this before. It's a really good, witty Regency era romance. I really like the characters in this one. Highly recommended if you like, Jane Austen type. And if you look, there is an apple that is fruit. Or I've got Poisoned, which is a retelling of Snow White. I don't have any romance or anything like that, so I think I'm going to go with Rules of Gentility by Janet Moloney. All right, one more book to pick for this video, and that is Buzzword. Okay, here it is. Dark, or any form of dark. And I'm sure I have a ton of those. Until you need them, that's when you can't find them. Okay, for dark, I think I'll go with a new Owl Crate Jr. book. It just came in. This is for the August 2021 book, and it's The Plentiful Darkness by Heather Kastner. And this is about Rooney, a 12-year-old who has a magical mirror that lets her capture moonlight. But her mirror is stolen by a gang of roughhousing boys, and there's a dark-hearted magician who is causing children to disappear in the night. So she's willing to plunge into the darkness to get her magical mirror back. So this should be a nice, fun, good read. I do. Owl Crate Jr., I really have liked every book that they've sent so far. They have good picks. And it's stuff that I wouldn't have searched for on my own if they hadn't brought it to life to me. So I'm excited to read this one. Okay, so here are the 5 that I will be reading for my miscellaneous challenges for that month. in addition to my 5 from Just Spin It. So that wraps it up. Keep an eye out for my Sims picks. There will be a video up on that just as soon as I can get it edited, showing 5 more books that I'll be reading this month. Cross your fingers. I really hope I can get all of these done, but we will see. Anyway, be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. And thanks for watching. If you read any of these books, let me know what you think about them. Good, bad, anything in between. Let's talk books. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye now.